Okay, so I know that a few of you are wondering what's my obsession with games and game organization. Well, I'll tell you. Euro games are the one hobby that my husband and I have in common. And it's something that we can do not only as a couple, but that our kids can do with us. And it makes for great family-friendly time. So that being said, of course, with my organization, it is important for me to not have piles of games in my living room stacked up in some random corner. It's also important for us to take really good care of our games. And our collection has been growing, so like every woman, I figured it was time to put those games behind closed doors. Alright, so what I've done is I've built a unit. Well, I've built two units actually. This is unit 1, and there's an identical one right on the other side here. And before I went ahead and put on doors to close up the second portion of my second unit, I thought I'd take a quick break and give you guys a little organization tour. Now, for those of you who are gamers, you're looking at this shelf here and saying, wow, look at all that space. There's all kinds of games that could be stacked up in there. Well, there's a couple things. I actually recommend that you put them behind closed doors, not only for the sake of your wives and their sanity, but also just to protect them from sun and dust. This is nice, but it's near an open window, and so we really didn't want our games fading. Another thing that I think is really important to consider is just how many games that you have and what size the storage unit you're going to want to create. You could do, and instead of a bookcase and then a base unit where you keep everything, you could just make it one big pantry type shelf to store everything. But this is in my living room. I want it to look nice, and this is what worked well for me. So I'm going to give you a tour of the rest of it, and maybe it'll be something you can employ in your home. Now, when I built this unit, I built this double the width or depth of what a common bookcase would be. That way my bookcase could sit easily on top, but then I would have lots of depth to be able to place all my games and store a lot more games than it looks like this small space can handle. Now, in order to do that and get to all of my games, of course, it was important to make it so that it could roll out, so that these would be pull-out shelves, so I could see the games that would be stored in the back without having to pull out a game and then see what's behind it. Now, of course, so that I don't have to pull it out to see what's behind it, everything is labeled Dominion, then what's behind St. Petersburg. But it's also easy to get to. All I have to do is pull it out, and here's my game easily accessible and easily seen. Now, if I were you and I wanted to save a little money, one recommendation I would make is, instead of creating the two sections like I did here, is to just make it one wide open area, and you know, just make your shelf run all the way from one end to the other. It'll save you a little money because these pull-out shelves are not that expensive. Now, I did go ahead and save money by using whatever scrap wood I could find for the shelves themselves, but as far as the runners, they can cost quite a bit. I found mine at a Habitat for Humanity resale shop at $2 a piece. So it doesn't cost me even, it'll cost me a fraction of the costs that you would have to pay unless you're also able to find them secondhand. So because of that, I recommend that you make it one long shelf, unless you can find it very inexpensively like I did. Now here I organize mine by types of games. On this side here we have all of our party games. Now, they're not truly party games, but for Euro games, they seem to be the ones that are the most popular. The ones at least my family and my friends tend to gravitate towards. So things like 7 Wonders, which are easier for people who are newer to Euro games to play. So I have all of those lined here on this section. And then here are the rest of our games. And I'll show you the other unit, the first unit, and how I have them organized in that unit. I haven't yet put the doors on this particular unit. I'm still working on them. And so you saw the doors that I placed on those, and these ones are underway. They're actually drying as we speak, the glue from it. Now, I built this unit a little bit differently from the first one I showed you. This section here is a smaller section, and it's specifically designed to hold our family games. These are the games that my kids play, so they're easily accessible for them. And things like Settlers, my kids play Settlers of Catan, Ticket to Ride, Carcassonne, Pandemic. These are all of our games that we consider them our family games. And over here I have a special little unit that I built. This was the first section I built with the idea, trying to figure out how I wanted to put all this together. This is a simpler design, but these are where my favorite games are. We call it my Hall of Rosenberg. These are all the Rosenberg games that I love so much. And I even created an empty unit here specifically for when he inevitably makes another game, hint hint, and I'm sure I will want to own it. So now this is designed a little bit differently. It's open on both sides so that one can push from the back side to have it easily accessible, to be able to grab the game and pull it out. I don't know that I recommend building a unit of this type. This was just initial in my ideas as I was trying to flesh out how I wanted to save the most space, maximize my space. It does kind of maximize space in the sense that you've got thinner shelves here so that they're more easily stacked. And I wanted to do that for this unit because I took up quite a bit of space here when I left this top portion open. Now, I haven't quite finished because there will be another shelf right up here, another piece of wood that will be across the top here. And the reason for this is for those unfinished games or puzzles, or some games are very long and they might take, a couple days to play, especially if it's on a work day. So then you have this piece of wood that you can easily slide out, put down on your tabletop, play, put it away until you have a chance to finish it. Or perhaps for things like puzzles, we like to work on puzzles some afternoons and then don't finish it. We can slide them away until another day we can pull it back out and complete our puzzles. So whether you use a system like this to store your games or any other kind of collectible that you love, this is a very excellent method. It keeps it out of the sun, it keeps it away from the dust, and it's easy to find everything that you're looking for. From time to time I just pull them all out, sit and look at them and say, okay, what do I want to play today? Now, I will again be posting a how-to for the unit itself, just showing you how I managed to build mine, but that will come at a later date. And in the meantime, please visit my blog for more tips, more tricks about how I put all of this together, and other details that I might not have included in the video. You can find me at home, made by Carmona, at blogspot.com.